but I vote according to my conscience in regards to what I think is going to benefit all of America, and not just one particular side, one way or the other. So I have voted for Democrats in the past, and I voted for Republicans. I just kind of wanted to put that out there.
Well, I'm just curious, since you said it, brother. Did you vote for Trump in 2016, 2020, 2024?
Yes, sir, I did.
All 3 times?
All 3 times, yes, sir.
Oh, wow. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, sir. But let me say this though. Although I voted for him, I really voted more for the Republican Party as opposed to the candidate. And I just felt like at the times that I did vote, or the choices I made, I just felt like, to be honest, that he was the lesser of 2 evils. And I also voted accordingly to what I felt would benefit my family, most importantly than anything.
But you brought this up, so now we got to go a little bit more. If you listen to my show, you know that I dialogue. You said you vote your conscience. So you're conscious. So that's how you vote. How does your conscience allow you to vote for somebody who ruined the economy the first time? Or how does it allow you to vote for somebody who, wants to, reinstalls Confederate names on military bases as a Texas man? I keep hearing this, like you vote your conscience. I'm just confused on, do you really think the moral character of Trump is better, and he cares more about this country and the well-being of Americans than Biden and Kamala Harris? Do you really believe that in your conscience? Do you really believe that?
I don't. You know what? Let me see if I can answer this appropriately. And I voted for Trump because of his position, or I voted for Republicans because of their position on energy and exploration and things of that nature, because that directly impacts my family. My spouse is higher up in oil and gas, and typically the Democratic Party does not, has a positive impact on oil and gas exploration and things of that nature. That's primarily what it is, to be honest with you, Clay. Here's some of his tenets I totally disagree with, man. I'm on board with anything that he does that is egregious to the economy, or even any of the racist or
wait, I'm sorry. I just the Inflation Reduction Act, it had the biggest it was the biggest climate energy law in history. Hundreds of billions of dollars in tax credits and subsidies for solar, wind, EV, batteries, domestic clean tech manufacturing. I don't know. I'm confused, Tommy. Do you think Donald Trump is a racist?
Yeah, I do believe he is, yes. 100%.
So you think he's a racist, but you still voted for him because of energy?
Because let me clarify the energy side, and then I want to get to the point, if you don't mind. The energy side is my wife is involved in fossil fuels, and so she's 100. She is not a proponent of wind and those type of energy processes at all, because it impacts her side of the industry 100%. So she's not on board with that. It impacts whenever they shut down or they lower any type of explorations for oil and gas and natural gas, then that impacts my household.
I guess I'm just so confused why you could vote for a racist only because of fossil fuels. What about children's access to education? What about the erasure of our history? What about the economy? I mean, Republicans screw up the economy and Democrats have to clean it up. What about, fossil fuels? I guess I hear you, but what about clean energy, a clean environment for our kids? I can't get my mind around that. And you say you're voting more for the Republican Party, but do you agree with what the Republican Party is doing right now in Texas, redrawing these maps to specifically take away power from Black majority areas?
I do not, because let me comment, if you don't mind. I 100% don't agree with the redistricting at all. I personally am very close to one of the senators that are state senators. I know her very well, and I don't want those districts to be redistricted. I
But that's what you
100%
voted
agree.
for, though. You
I,
voted for this, and you
that
know they're
was one of
taking
the
away
issues.
power from Black Texans. They've been doing this for a long time. Like when I bring up things to you, you're like, okay, I know he's a racist. I don't agree with that. But the fossil fuels, like I just it's tough. I mean, this man has told us time, and I want to get into the psychosis of how could you still vote for a person that wants to take away the power of Black Texans who vote who support who look like you. But even before that, I mean, the comments about the Central Park Five, I mean, it just goes on and on and on. I can't get my mind around it. And I got to tell you, Tommy, it's just disappointing because we need us all to be collectively together. And look at this moment right now, Tommy, where Donald Trump says, I could care less about bringing the country together. God forbid he runs for a third term and he manages to break the Constitution. Would you vote for him a fourth time, Tommy?
Will not. No, sir, I will not. And I want to kind of stay on point, but you're right. I would not vote for him again because he has shown that some of the things that he has done recently, those are not things that he discussed as far as redistricting. I wasn't aware of that. And had I known he was going to do something as, or influence our governor to do something as ridiculous as that, there's no way I would have voted for that.
But brother, it was in Project 2025. They talked about giving the president, giving him full power. They talk about dismantling Congress, dismantling the House and the Senate. That basically give all power to the executive branch. If you've been listening to me for a long time, you know that was the scariest things about Project 2025. I laid that out. Or, Tommy, did you know, but you just didn't care because you were focused on fossil fuels?
That was the driving force. I'll just be honest about it. But
okay.
He did not specifically, or there was no indication that redistricting was going to be part of that gaining of more power.
But Republicans have been doing that for years, brother. What are you talking about? Now, I mean, they've been
going in and redistricting in the middle of the
mid-decade. True, that was a bit of a remix. But Republicans have been they did it in North Carolina. They've been doing it for a long time. But see, that's the issue. You were focused on the fossil fuels. Do you regret at this point seeing what's happening right now in the country? Do you regret any of your voting for Trump as a Black man in Texas, or no? You're really happy with what you did?
No, I regret my last tally with him for voting for him for president. Yes, absolutely. But I mean, that's in hindsight. I mean, I'm sure we've all been in situations where we voted for someone and they didn't do what you thought they were going to do, or you were a little disappointed, and you may have regretted that vote.
I just don't get how you fell for it a third time. This man is so cruel. I mean, have you seen the number of Black women losing their jobs? Did you know in his first term, Black small businesses just completely got decimated and never came back? We had the highest Black unemployment rate that we've had in I think since under Bush. Did you see how he hurt Black communities? Unemployment, Black business. Did you see any of that in the second term, or were you just thinking about fossil fuels?
Okay, so the answer is I saw that. But once again, I think it was more, hey, I need to be worried about in that particular environment, in this environment, I need to be taking care of my family, be concerned about them first. And so I did not experience, nor did I have anybody who I socialized with that were impacted by that. I have friends who are business people, who are sole proprietors. They have their own corporations, and none of them were impacted negatively by this administration or the prior administration.
But see, that's the problem, is that we only care until we're impacted, Tommy. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem of where we are as a culture. And when I see them, with the Republican Party, refusing money, federal money to feed children in Georgia, I just don't understand. So it just appears really a bit selfish, Tommy, because you appear to know a bit of what went down, enough of what went down. When you had somebody on the other side who wanted to raise the minimum wage, Kamala Harris was very much pro business. I mean, This is part of our issue as a country, that nobody cares until they're impacted. And that's heartbreaking to me. Kamala Harris wouldn't have had the tariffs from hell. Now we're seeing businesses being hit by these tariffs. We're seeing farmers being hit in Arkansas. It's the delayed reactions for humanity that really frustrate me. But Tommy, I'm a nice guy. Final comment, brother.
No, I just wanted to let you know that, like I said, I agree with some of the things that you discussed. Most of the things that you discuss on your show, you have a very empathetic heart. You're focused on more of the macro aspects of things. I guess from my perspective,
I'm focused on the macro and the micro, brother. I'm focused on the big and the small. Not just there is a micro. I'm focused on all of it.
And I will say this, and I hope you don't take this the wrong way. I didn't grow up poor or without. I grew up in middle-class America. I grew up in a mixed neighborhood. I was the only African-American in my junior high for 3 years, one of 5 or 6 in my high school. So I've been around a mixture, or not, a more dichotomy of the makeup of the country. And I understand how whites think. I have a lot of friends that are white. A lot.
I'm from Philadelphia, but I spent many, many years in Washington State. I think most black people were all over. I mean, it's not about if you grew up in a predominantly black area or a white area. It's the humanity of it all. But let me ask you, outside of fossil fuels, is there another policy? Give me another Donald Trump policy, another Trump policy that made you vote for him a third time.
That he would have more. He would anything that he would like to get done that's positive, he would have a better chance of getting that done because he has a majority in the House.
But I want a policy, not what he could get, what he could get more stuff done. What policy did you like about Donald Trump?
That he was against abortion. That he was against same-sex marriages. Those are things that that mean something to me, and I think that it's important.
But those don't impact you at all. Same-sex marriage and abortion, but those mean something to you. But when it comes to you said you were focusing on things that mean something to you. Those have no impact on you. I think it's funny how you care about same-sex marriage and abortion, but not about the black unemployment rate, the loss of black businesses, not any of that. And Donald Trump believed in abortion going back to the states. And Donald Trump, according to his own language, is not against same-sex marriage. Now, that might change with the Supreme Court, but he isn't against that. I mean, I'm surprised it wasn't a deal breaker for you when you saw that it was Trump's administration that allowed trans folks to have gender-affirming surgery in prison. That wasn't a deal breaker for you?
Because that wasn't something that impacted me. That didn't impact me.
But does abortion and same-sex marriage. That doesn't impact you either, but you care. So do you only care when it's a little bit hateful? Like, why do you care about same-sex marriage and abortion, but then you don't care about his administration allowing trans folks to get gender-affirming surgery in prison? Like, what's going on, man? It just seems like you've fallen for the otherism like crazy. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I hear exactly what you're saying. I do. But some of the stuff does impact me directly.
How does same-sex marriage impact you?
Because my belief is that marriage is between a man and a woman.
That's your belief. You claim you're Republican. Why do you want your belief in somebody's bedroom?
That's not my belief.
Why do you want your belief? How does somebody's bedroom impact you? And same-sex marriages only help the economy. Why do you want your belief in somebody's bedroom?
I don't care about their bedroom as long as it stays in the bedroom. But I don't.
But you want to be in their bedroom and tell them what they can or cannot do. Okay. All right. I'm done. All right. Have a good day. Be blessed. Jesus. But you know what? He's voting.
Every time.